Hello and welcome to Shivam
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Oh.
Broadcasting live from the haunted Fengraph on the plain of Innistrad. This is Tap, Concede, Scryfall Roulette, not Shivam Wheeler Love Magic.
Oh, come on.
My name is Wheeler. Joining me today, I have some PPR guests from the Aether Drift PPR. We have Shivam.
Hello. We
have Callie, or MagicNewGirl.
Hello.
And we have a Graham on tech.
Hi.
This is good. See, I can shout at you the way I shout at James. That's fine, right?
Oh yeah, no, go for it. When I'm here, I am operating in that space. Yeah.
Fantastic, because I will treat whoever is in that booth like piss. But I won't treat you, supporter over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, like piss, because everything we do here is brought to you by you, including this show. Of course, Tap Concede is also brought to you by Card Kingdom. Go to cardkingdom.com/LRR to make your order. And when you make your order, in the comment section, you could say, "Lur sent me button, please." And while supplies last, you'll get a small button that says something that is cool or funny or topical. Maybe it'll be like, Ugin should hit the gritty. Although I think the last one is Serving Commander.
Serving Commander's so good.
Serving Commander is real nice.
That's so good.
too straight for this.
Is this a sleeve supported thing as well, Graham?
Yeah.
And it's also Dragon Shields. If you go to dragonshield.com, make an order, and use LRRMTG 5, you'll get 5% off your order, and you'll let them know that we sent you there, and you should go there because it's Dragon Shields and you're playing Magic the Gathering, presumably.
Makes sense to me.
I use them, so you should probably use them because I have incredible taste.
You hang out with me, Wheels. How could that possibly be true?
I have occasionally incredible taste. Okay, so Scryfall Roulette. For the folks at home that haven't seen this, or for you too, I know Shivam does this every day, although sometimes I think your options are more scripted than game nights. So who could say?
That's hilarious.
I will not reveal my secrets to you, listener.
Great. What we're going to do is I'm going to scream at Graham, and then Graham is going to put a random Magic the Gathering card on screen. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to try and make it so that Shivam and I don't talk about every single card for 40 minutes, and that everybody's included, and that we can actually talk about these cards or not talk about these cards if we don't like them.
I will do my best.
Oh, I said this before we record. I say this every time to the guests. This is literally the least stressful thing you'll have to do because none of this matters. This does not matter in the grand scheme of things. You're good.
Cool.
Unlike this first card, or maybe like this first card, grab.
All right. In the interest of journalistic integrity, I want to ensure everyone I'm just hitting random on Scryfall and exerting zero editorial control.
I thought you were going to say effort.
Oh. also that.
Okay, really embodying James' role.
Good.
What do we got?
Okay, card number 1.
Claws of Wirewood. 3 and a green for a sorcery from Scourge. It's an uncommon that says Claws of Wirewood deal 3 damage to each creature with flying and each player, as well as cycling 2. I want to ask Callie, because I was going to say moniker, there's a much more normal word to use. MagicNewGirl. How new, I can handle this. How new are you to Magic the Gathering?
I have been playing for 2 years.
Okay.
So I still feel extremely
Tell them what set you
new.
started with.
I started with Phyrexia.
Phyrexia!
That's a good one to start with, I thought.
Yeah.
Who starts with
Like the old
Phyrexia?
counters.
All will be one. Are you kidding?
Shivam has a weird thing about creepy crawlies.
Oh, okay. So you didn't like it.
Not as such.
No. Okay.
What's that?
Phyrexia. All right. So
Were
you
you born it?
don't... Next thing he asks is going to be, what's the name of the cat, mother's maiden name, street you grew up on, and the 3 security numbers on the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never mind. I'm just checking to see if Scourge is older than you.
97, I'll say it.
Okay.
So.
No.
So no. Okay, good. You were still like young.
2003 for Claws of the Wirewood here, or Claws of Wirewood, but it has cycling, and Aether Drift has cycling.
This is true. I actually played against the cycling deck the other day, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and this card was in it.
Wait,
What,
actually?
really?
Yeah, yep. A whole cycling deck. every card had cycling in it.
Who was the commander, if I may ask?
It was one
If it
that
was
I'm blanking
Commander.
on the name. It was Commander, but I can't remember who it was.
But they had a claws of wirewood in
Can
there.
you vaguely describe it?
The colors?
I think it was, they had blue in there, and then it was whenever you cycle, you get to do something.
That's not a lot to work on.
That is not a lot. See, y'all are supposed to be good at this.
I mean, usually I am. I'm kind of
like
I'll
4 or
have to
5
get back
cycling
to it. I'll have to get back to it.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, claws of wirewood, though, in terms of just like card value, this is a very standard old school Magic design. When they used Gavin Neswarden?
Well, Gavi Nesswarden can't play Claws of Wirewood.
No, because it's not green.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good guess.
It is the cycling lord. But the thing about Claws of Wirewood is like the old days Hurricane was the template, right? X and a green, do damage to X damage to each flying creature and each player. So Claws of Wirewood, a lot of these green anti-flyer spells had that same kind of do certain amount of damage to a flying creature and to each player. And this is right in that line. It like bolts every flyer and does 3 damage to every player. It's fine. They're better
a
anti-flyer
Hurricane.
green cards.
Yeah, you're telling me. I have a whole deck that's built around giving things flying and shooting them out of the sky. And Claws of Wirewood does not make the cut. But I did play this as a sideboard in an Elves deck that I brought to F&M back in the day. And it was similarly bad. I don't think I used it for anything. That was like very much casual Magic player brain of like, well, I'm weak against flying.
Yeah.
Of course people are going to have flyers. And then it's like, no, I'm getting my ass kicked by goblins and like Affinity. Or this would have been... a cycling deck, actually, Astral Slide. So maybe, who knows? Maybe they had it in their deck.
And in like Commander, there's just so many better ways to deal with flyers in green. Graham?
Wait. Hold on. You don't get to do that.
Oh.
You don't get to do that.
Graham.
I'll give this one to you. I'll give one. James. Graham? Oh, hell yeah. Sticking with
let's
Scourge, double Scourge. Cabal Interrogator. 1 and a black for a 1/1 zombie wizard.
Sold.
Pay X and a black tap. Target player reveals X cards from their hand. You pick one of them. That player discards that card. Use this only time you could play a sorcery. This card's shockingly messed up.
Yeah.
Like, it's really rude. Like, you just get to make them... It's repeatable discard. Like, they don't do this anymore because they tend to like people to play Magic the Gathering when you're playing Magic the Gathering.
Right. This would not let you play.
No.
No, I'd be so mad if I saw this card. I've never seen it, though. This is my first time reading it.
Yeah, this card rules because, like, first off, being able to force people to discard repeatedly is a real just messed up ability. But... like, you're also getting to see the cards in their hand. So you're not only just... It's not like Hypnotic Spectre where you're just attacking them and they force to discard. They show you all their cards and you choose one. So it's like you're getting to repeatedly Thoughtseize them. You know, because it's not even... it's not restricting you on spells or instants. It's not giving you the duress clause. It's literally just show me X cards and let me pick one of them and toss it. And you can also target yourself if you're playing a Madness deck for some reason. And you can just force yourself to... oh, I think I'll discard this card. You know? And like if you pick yourself, you can choose which card you're revealing. It's kind of messed up. For
This,
X and a black tap to play a Madness card, it's kind of sick.
So because we got 2 Scourge cards in a row here, and because this is something that newer Magic players tend to lock on,
Yeah.
what was your first like typo deck or first Kindred deck? Was there like a creature type in Magic that you saw and you're like, oh, yeah, this is my jam?
Yeah, I started with vampires. That was my first one. Yeah, and I loved it. Loved the vampires. Now I'm a serpent girl. So anything,
Serpent.
yeah. So snakes, serpents. That's my jam now.
Okay.
I love a good death touch.
Okay.
love a good
I
serpent.
have a Hapatra deck, makes a lot of snakes. It's a good time.
It's so good. Yeah, but I started with vampires. Orzhov. Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Interesting.
I love flying. Like the previous card. I love flying. I would have hated to see that card coming.
The Claws of the Wirewood.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for dumping something like that in front of you without knowing that.
It would be traumatic.
It was a little traumatic. I got scared.
We're not here to give that kind of experience. We're here to talk about incredible cards such as Graham. Ooh, Circular Logic. Although this one is the F&M promo. Dope. From Torment originally.
Speaking of things you sack.
2 and a blue for an instant. Countertarget spell unless this controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard, and then has Madness
what?
for a single
Yeah.
blue.
Oh,
This
that's
card-
crazy.
This card rules.
Yeah, this
What?
card was a constructed staple for quite some time, and I don't think it's been reprinted into a
Modern set.
modern set or even a standard legal set or whatever. It's just like, yeah, 1 mana hard counter. I mean, technically it's a soft counter, but I mean, come on.
If you're playing this, it's a hard counter because the way these cards used to work is you would be playing with like lots of madness, lots of cycling card. There would be your yard would be full, lots of looting effects, and being able to just counter any spell for a lot of mana and being able to trigger madness with what the hell is that?
Wild
Bouncer?
Mongrel,
Yeah.
Waterfront Bouncer,
Waterfront Bouncer, Wild Mongrel type of card.
Aquamoeba.
Yeah, Wild Mongrel is a card. Can you pull up Wild Mongrel for a second, Graham? Because this card, if you haven't seen it, is doesn't make any sense to you at first.
Okay.
Because it rules, but I want to get the text right.
Oh, you want the Wild Mongrel text? 1 and a green, 2/2 dog. Discard a card from your hand, gets +1/+1, becomes the color of your choice until end of turn.
So
Okay.
Same
you
Sure.
pitch a
artist.
card, and it becomes it changes color and becomes a little stronger. But the point of this card is your deck would be full of all these madness cards.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, I play a spell and you're like, oh, I want to counter it. I'm just going to pitch it to Wild Mongrel. Wild Mongrel gets bigger, but nobody cares because now I can counter it for 1, and boom, your circular logic will go through.
Why is its ass up in the
Okay.
air?
That is awesome.
And,
now I
but
wanna
look
do
at how
it.
happy he is.
I mean, that's cute. Yeah.
thumb
it
up.
teaches you to play dead. That's a good flavor text.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
know-
I'm just trying to figure out why its ass is up and why it's giving the thumbs
It's
up.
scratching its
You know, we
back.
don't-
Oh, it's
Yeah.
scratching its back. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, we don't judge here, but
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge.
Can I ask you a question?
Yo.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you observed that this is the DCI F&M
Yep.
special promo,
Yep.
and you theorize that this has not been reprinted into anything sort of modern legal. Do you know in what sets and how many times Circular Logic has been reprinted?
So there's a secret layer with it that has a typo. I believe that this because
sorcery.
it
Look,
says
it's
the
the
Snakes,
sorcery.
y'all.
yeah.
Oh.
It's a beautiful card, but it says sorcery. Can't counter spell at sorcery speed.
They do that sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, mistake.
I believe Ultimate Masters is when this was printed as well in UMA.
That's correct.
Yep. I want to say it was also on Vintage Masters on Magic Online only.
That is correct.
You're good at this.
Is there any?
no idea.
Am I missing something else?
There's one more.
Yeah, it was like in a mystery booster or something.
There's nope. There's one more. Or sorry, yes.
It's on the list or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one more remaster set.
Oh, Dominaria remastered.
Dominaria Remastered. And then it was also printed in, it looks like 4 different
Really?
world champion.
Oh, the
sets.
world champion.
Oh,
set.
yeah.
Cool.
This.
Yeah,
this-
because that was the year Wild Mongrel was everybody was playing it.
yeah, this
yeah, I
card
love
is
the border.
incredible in Madness. It was played in the Reanimator decks. Some decks just played it because it was good.
I can't believe I've never seen this card.
I know this card used to be
it's
a
dope.
powerhouse. It's
Yeah.
insane.
I thought it was Cyclonic Ridge when it first popped up on the screen.
I mean, keeping cycling in mind, like the previous card and Aether Drift, I'm tying it all together.
Yes.
The job of a host is that they've actually tried to print this effect a couple of times, and I believe on Countervailing Winds from Hour of Devastation, it is Circular Logic, but with cycling. So they occasionally will go back and make Circular Logic with set mechanic,
Yeah,
but it's hard to beat 1 mana
yeah, dude, that card was
Yeah.
hard counter.
that card was unbelievably strong.
Yeah,
at the
there we
time.
go. Countervailing Winds.
Yeah, but you can't cast it off the cycling. It doesn't have a madness cost.
No, but you can cycle it. Grab.
All right.
Please.
I need to stress. I have exercised 0 editorial control.
I believe you.
I just hit random.
I believe you. I believe you.
Maybe you'll have something to discuss with this next card.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this is Black Lotus. Black Lotus is a 0 mana artifact, printed as a mono artifact because it was an artifact that required tapping it to use. You sacrifice it and add 3 mana of any color there's a single color to your mana pool.
So, quick, do you know what the other two types of artifacts were?
No.
Mono artifact is a one-use artifact, requires you to tap, aka Soul Ring or Black Lotus. Poly artifact is an artifact that lets you use its ability multiple times and activate it multiple times. And continuous artifact is an artifact that sits on the table and just does a thing.
I did not know that.
They got rid of it pretty quickly.
They got rid of that like right after Antiquities or Legends, maybe? Was it up to Legends? Probably up to Legends. But by the time Revised came around, they just said artifact.
Yeah.
And they created a tap symbol and they let you do that.
Very cool. Thank you.
Good old Bloaty.
I know this card. I have this card tattooed on me, actually.
Oh,
yeah, it's on my leg. I have the Black Lotus tattooed, and then I'm wearing a Black Lotus necklace right now, too.
You've been playing for 2 years and you got a Black Lotus tattoo already?
I love Magic the Gathering.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and I was like, what would look good? And it's that art. It looks great.
Black Lotus is one of the best cards to get if you are getting a Magic tattoo.
Because Chris Rush killed?
Well, because it's stealth. Take it from someone that has 4 or 5, I forget, Magic tattoos. Is that the best ones are the ones where it's like you could show this to like, I don't know, coworkers.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, that's a very pretty flower. Or like, oh, that's very cool. Does that mean anything to you? But then if you know, then you know. And it's a flower. Like getting a flower tattooed on you is like the classic thing to do.
Yeah. Actually, my stepmom has a matching tattoo with me of the Black Lotus.
Oh.
We went and got matching tattoos together, and hers is just like a sleeve of flowers, and it fits in there. She don't play Magic.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just to add on to what you said,
That's lovely.
yeah,
That's
it is
really
lovely.
cool.
Yeah. So she's just got a lotus. I've got a Black Lotus.
Have you ever cast a Black Lotus?
No.
Shivam, have you cast?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Like paper Black Lotus?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know
I've
what
played
to
in a
do.
bunch of cubes and I've played with real vintage cubes and I've had Black Lotus. But my funniest story with the Black Lotus is there was a time on Vintage Masters had come out on Midgo.
Yep.
And that's when I signed up for my Magic Online account and I wanted to play. And because like, oh man, I want to draft a vintage cube. That would be super sick. And when I did that, literally the first pack I cracked had a foil Black Lotus from Vintage Masters, which was one of the super rares. And I was just like, hell yeah, let's go. I clicked it and I got it. And I drafted a deck that was whatever. And here's my inexperience with Magic Online showed is I joined a league and I played the Black Lotus and I cracked it in like the guy did something in combat. I cracked the Lotus so I could make a response, but I didn't realize the timing or whatever, and my Lotus mana just disappeared. And I was like, oh, I just did that wrong, completely goozled myself in this Lotus. I lost that game, or like I conceded that game in shame. And then what I didn't realize was I was playing in a one and done league where you have to win to go forward. So I literally cracked the Black Lotus and drafted a
You
sick
wasted
deck
it.
and just first round concede, drop, and like poof, gone forever. Yeah, I've learned a lot since then.
I'm fortunate enough to have a Black Lotus and to play it somewhat regularly, thanks to Canadian Highlander and Cube. And let me tell you, it never gets old.
No, it really
just
doesn't.
does not. I mean, Time Walk gets old. Even sometimes Ancestral Recall can get a little old.
Time Walk gets old. That's my favorite Magic card is Time Walk.
It gets a little. I mean, when I say it gets old, I mean like you're just like, oh yeah, I'll Time Walk or whatever. But like when you have a Black Lotus in your opening hand, doesn't matter what else you have. It's just so dope to be like, oh, oh my God, I could do anything. Like the world's my onion. I could do whatever I want here.
That's cool.
Time Walk is dope. I will give you that.
Let me
The
tell you-
art is so good.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that art is good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
classic.
good.
It's amazing. But I remember in the days of playing turn one, Black Lotus, Badlands, Jism Jin, and that's when you're like, all right, let's go. This is the way it should be,
Sword Splashers.
and that's always what would happen.
Yeah. Grab.
Yeah.
Was I not loud enough? Oh,
Ooh.
Palace Jailer. This is the Lord of the Rings Commander product printing of a card originally from Conspiracy Take the Crown. 2 white for a 2/2 human soldier. When Palace Jailer enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. And when Palace Jailer enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until an opponent becomes the Monarch.
Oh, I love this card.
Do you love it because it's a soldier?
Yes.
Or do you love it because it's broken?
I love it because the soldier and monarch is one of my favorite mechanics. I love the monarch mechanic. I think it's one of the best things that happened to multiplayer. I call it the... even though Sean Main is still alive, I call it the Sean Main Memorial just to remember my friend. The Sean Main Memorial Monarch token in the middle, Monarch in the middle is the way I like to play Magic the most, which is when you're playing Commander, you start with a Monarch token in the middle. Whoever does first damage gets Monarchy, and then you pass it around as normal so that we always have the chance to play with Monarch. This card in a multiplayer set is fine. This card in Vintage is not fine. Or Vintage or Legacy even. It's a messed up card in a one-player game.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I think I'm failing to see the line here.
Okay. So if I may.
Yeah.
So in a multiplayer game, right, you introduce the Monarch, people are hitting other people,
Yeah.
whatever.
Monarch mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In 1v1, let's say we both have I have a grizzly bear, you have a grizzly bear, and we're at like the same life total, same kind of resources. I play this Palace Jailer. I get rid of your creature. I now have 2 creatures. I now have the Monarch. I get to draw an additional card every turn. So now I have 2 creatures. I'm drawing a card every single turn, and you have to... It's not enough to just get rid of my creatures. You have to hit me in order to get your thing back. And that's going to be real difficult when I am already beating the board, so to speak. I'm already winning like with the board presence, and I'm drawing extra cards, meaning that like the natural way of building to the board to try and get the Monarch back is by playing creatures. But because I am drawing extra cards, I have an easier chance of finding more creatures to play to block or more kill spells. So it just snowballs out of control.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I was thinking Commander Brain. Like, you got 3 people coming at you,
Right.
but 1v1, yeah, you're right.
But if you've got, even in Commander, if you've got a big enough wall, you can sit on Monarch for a long time because sometimes people just cannot attack you. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, who cares? Like if somebody gets a Monarch and Commander, it's like, wow, it's really tough to get it back. It's like, oh, you can have it.
Yeah,
sure,
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
You got to
But
flex
in like 1v1, dude, the fact that you're getting card advantage from like multiple angles is just... And you can lock down any creature, not just their 2/2. You can lock down their best creature or whatever, or their value creature, or their mana engine. And it's a real humdinger.
Yeah, I think we got monkeys caged by like the initiative, where now like the initiative. Are you familiar with the initiative?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do
so
know that one.
it's if the description of what the Monarch was in 1v1 sounded bad, the initiative is that times a million.
I love that initiative.
And it is absolutely dreadful, unbelievable that it was ever allowed in 1v1 in any capacity. But
Pauper initiative. Let's go.
yeah, because the initiative is so busted, I now look back on the Monarch fondly in like 1v1 where I'm like,
it wasn't so bad.
when that was the biggest issue we had, and people were like playing like a 4-mana 2/4 that just made you the Monarch on ETB because they're like, oh, I want to be the Monarch. It's like, great, cool. That's a good problem to have. Don't get that out of my sight, Graham. Come on, dude.
I thought we were done scaring people. on this
Please,
show.
yes, exactly. Next card, please, Graham.
I just remembered a Black Lotus anecdote of when LSV was playing in a vintage, or somebody was playing a vintage championships or something, and the opponent Oko'd their Black Lotus, and they won by swinging in with the Black Lotus.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
They kill someone with their own Lotus. Killing someone with the Lotus has to be hot. But yes.
Shiny Impetus.
I love this card. It's in my Mazzy deck.
2 in a red for an enchantment aura, also from Lord of the Rings Commander. You really got to diversify the sets.
It was originally from...
Random is random.
It was originally from a different set, though.
It was originally from, I believe, Commander 2014?
No.
2016.
Goat is later. What's
Originally from Commander 2020.
Yeah.
2020?
wow.
That didn't exist. That's not real.
Yeah, I love this card.
Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded with the sauce. And whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token.
You do, not the controller.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, yeah,
I
this
love
card
that card. Oh my gosh.
There's a whole cycle of these impetuses, one in each color.
Yeah.
And for the Mazzy Commander deck that I play, Mazzy is a creature that says, like, you know, when when a creature attacks your opponent, it gets +2/+2 and trample. And my deck theme was, and it's also got this ability to get auras that you control and recycle them and recast them. So I was like, I'm going to put all these auras on other people's creatures and force them to attack each other and then get to recycle it and do it again. And the impetuses are so perfect for this because it forces them to go and attack each other, and you're just building up
you're just getting
treasures.
treasure, yeah.
Exactly. And they're like, they can't attack you, and you want them to attack anybody else anyway because they have +2/+0 and trample. It rules. They're some of my favorite card designs.
It is nice to know that the fact that Shivam mentioning his Mazzy deck is a free space, not only on the bingo sheet for Shivam Wheeler Love Magic,
you know what,
but
dude?
also every other sheet.
I could not have possibly scripted literally give me one of my favorite pet cards from my favorite pet deck.
And it costed 2 mana, was that right? One
It's
in a red?
2 in a red.
Yeah, 2 in a red, okay.
Basically
Yeah,
free.
so
No,
good.
the card is so good, man.
So
How
worth it.
many impeti are
7.
Impeti.
They just printed 2 more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 in the original cycle, and then a hybrid impetus from the Clue product, as well as Ghoulish impetus, I believe, from the MKM Commander.
Folks, he does this to me every friggin' episode.
Well, that's another free space.
Pretty much.
It's just a big block on your sheet that says autism. And it's got any other things you want me to spout off, Graham?
No, I was just curious.
All
I
right.
was, I was interested in if Shivam knew, but you were
Of course I do.
right in there.
Come on.
Of course I do, but you go first.
Yeah, well, dude, look, that's the thing. Is like people are always like, Shivam, do you know as much as Wheeler, or do you just let him go off? I'm like, no, I do, but it's just more fun to let him go off. We got to have a straight man here to let him bounce. Come on. So the show's got a dynamic.
You don't have to bring sexuality into it, dude.
Hit us, buddy.
Next card, please. Ooh, Coral Helm Chronicler. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 Merfolk Wizard, originally from Zendikar Rising. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, draw a card, then discard a card. When Coral Helm Chronicler enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a card with a kicker ability from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I have a trivia question for you two.
Okay.
Which set do you think the term kicked originally appeared in?
As just the term kicked spell.
Kicked. Because
there a
kicker
hint
was
there?
originally introduced in Invasion Block, but they never used the term kicked.
I'm pretty sure that was Dominaria.
I believe that is correct.
Okay. I was going to say the same thing.
Graham, can I get a Voyager Drake on screen just to be sure? It's a card with multi-kicker that came to mind.
Okay.
Nope, never mind. It was Worldwake. Great.
You know,
Or
fair,
maybe Zendikar.
reasonable. We'll take it.
You know, trivia is at its best when the person asking the question has no idea what the hell they're talking
Yeah,
about.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I tried to look it up, and the problem is, of course, that Oracle text has messed with
Yeah,
this.
Yes.
it has
now-
changed all over the place.
Now, like Ardent Soldier here that says if you paid the kicker cost, it's the Oracle is if Ardent Soldier was kicked. So I was trying to
Wow,
find-
this is just old text all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Attacking doesn't cause Ardent Soldier to tap.
Yeah, and you can get wow, that's very expensive. A 4 mana 2/3 that with vigilance.
I think it was Zendikar, actually. Original Zendikar is where
I would buy that.
it seems to
What
be.
about Comet Storm?
Well, that's Worldwake.
Okay, then
Yeah.
sure, why not?
Because prior to this,
Wait. No, I know the answer. Plane Chase. It's Plane Chase.
Oh.
Core Sanctifiers from Plane Chase. That's what it is.
God damn it,
Yes.
he does it every time.
Core Sanctifiers is technically supposed to be in Zendikar, the original Zendikar, but it was
came out
a
first.
sneaky preview card in the first Plane Chase or second Plane Chase supplemental product. I think it's the first.
Yes.
And
Because Plane Chase came out in 2012.
yeah, there we go. If it was kicked, destroy target artifact.
Yeah,
or
this came out like
enchantment.
months before Zendikar did.
Yep.
That is a real sneaky. That's a real sneaky humdinger, man.
Oh, finally it
fun
kicked
fact.
in.
yeah. Because
But yeah.
prior to that, we've got stuff from Future Sight and Planar Chaos
Say if you pay the kicker.
that still says if the kicker cost was paid. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time they got to Zendikar, they realized people were just saying, "Yeah, I kicked the spell," or "The spell was kicked," and they're like, "Let's just go where the people are."
If I can bring it back to Coral Helm the Chronic, I have a question for Callie here.
Okay.
I forget half the cards that came out between the year 2020 and 2023.
Okay.
Because there are so goddamn many of them, as well as, there were some other important things going on in the world. My question is that when I got into the game in like 2002, one of the things that I did was immediately try to figure out like what had came out. What did I just miss? You know, did you, in a world where all the information is available, you have the internet, whatever, when you got into the game with Phyrexia, what was your kind of experience of looking back at the sets that you maybe just missed?
Yes. So I did not go that far. I did look at sets I just missed. It was Brothers War and then Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Those two.
I'm not coughing because I'm not shocked. I just went down the other hole.
Those two sets were phenomenal. So I really didn't spend a lot of time in Phyrexia. Will be when I started in it. But I found I was buying Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Neon Dynasty is the best set of the past 5 years.
Oh, I agree. And the lands, the full art lands are so good from that set. And then the first box I ever opened was actually Infinity. I did not realize that was not like a serious set. So like me and my friends, we were standing up and throwing cards on the table and like phoning a friend, and we thought that was magic.
Wow, that is.
You know what though? It is fun. It is really, really fun. Infinity was interesting.
Hell yeah.
That has big
fun.
big vibes of like the soldier that was discovered on that island in like the South Pacific that was like World War II still going on, right? And it's like 1990 or whatever. That is incredible.
We thought it was real. The lands were pretty, and then
why not? Let's go.
Someone sat me down. They're like, "Hey, let me teach you about a silver acorn." I was like, "What? Like, what are we talking about?" But yeah, it's not a real set.
So you liked Kamigawa Neon Dynasty a lot.
Yes.
Have you looked at the original Kamigawa book?
No. I mean, like here and there in passing, but I haven't sat down. No. Is it not good? What's the ooh?
No, I am. No disrespect to Daniel
6
Holt.
or 8 hours of podcasting alone.
Kamigawa is my favorite plane, and I could tell you everything about every single card from the original comic, and I have. I did.
I'll
People
have to
love
go back
that
and
like
listen.
episode 4 or 5 or something.
There's somewhere there's a set of streams that took, I think, literally like 40 hours of me just talking about every card.
every
from Kamigawa.
single card.
Anyways, let's stay on track though. Graham. Vein Drinker from, I believe, Shards of Alara or Conflux, one of the two. Shards of Alara. 4 black for a 4/4 vampire with flying. Pay a red, tap. Vein Drinker deals damage equal to its power to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power to Vein Drinker.
Have they templated that to fight?
I think this is different from fight. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Vein Drinker this turn is put into a graveyard, putting +1/+1 counter on Vein Drinker. Is this fight? We just had a new version in front of us, and
It didn't say fight on that.
The
but
Oracle text is the same. For whatever reason, it's not a fight. I'm not sure why that's important.
there are certain cards that technically have fight. I mean, sorry, for all purposes, it's like fighting.
Actually,
but
sorry, reading the
Oracle?
reading the rules explains the rules. It's relevant because when the first ability resolves, if the targeted creature is no longer on the battlefield,
it's not dealing the damage.
The ability doesn't resolve because there's no targets. But when the first ability resolves, if the targeted creature is still on the battlefield, but Vein Drinker is not, Vein Drinker will still deal the damage as last known information of its power.
Oh.
So I activate the ability, you kill it, but the ability still pops.
Yeah, unlike a fight, if you go, these two creatures fight and they kill your creature, then nothing gets fought. But in this case, if you go, my Vein Drinker deals the damage and your thing deals damage to this, and they kill Vein Drinker in response, their thing's still going to die.
Fair.
I'm learning so much about Vein Drinker.
Yeah, I mean, this card is still cool if you're playing like Rakdos Vampires. And this was printed in the Vampires Precon, the Edgar Markov one. It's a very powerful ability, and this card can get out of hand very quickly and very strong. And I don't know. I think it's a perfectly fine card in the 99.
I think it's important you said Rakdos there. You guys have been playing, a while, but I play with a lot of new players. I'm kind of new too. It's important that this is a Rakdos card by color identity because you would be shocked at the amount of people that would not know that. Or would put that in a mono black deck, commander deck.
So Wheeler and I have both been in the rules committee adjacent of commander for a long time. We would not be shocked at the amount of people who don't understand
crazy.
Color identity.
Yes.
I mean, I do like hearing about stuff like this from newer players and like the surge of newer players that came in over the past 5 years. Even in like social groups, my own social groups that are non-Magic that have known that I do things with Magic and they start playing and it's just like, it's so, I don't know, it's like watching, no, that's a weird way of putting it. I was going to say it's like I'm a kindergarten like teacher and I'm watching them all play,
I know what you mean by that. Yeah, it's important to like go back to the basics and kind of realize it probably helps you to teach newer players too.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like,
it's important to know
if it's not explained, then you got to actually explain.
Yeah, it's important to know where the stress points are and where the places where people run into kind of like blocks that prevent them from getting further into the game, because it's very easy for us old timers to be able to remember things like this, but sometimes you forget the basic fundamentals that people find stumbling blocks.
Yeah,
and so knowing where those are is it's helpful for us because that way we can figure out how to make the game easier and more accessible.
So I asked you, Kelly, about looking back at a set like before your jump off point. One of the other things that a lot of people do is they will go to the very first set. Have you looked through Alpha, like the OG?
Besides dual lands, no.
Okay.
Now I know all about the dual lands, but
are you familiar with Sengir Vampire?
No.
Can I drop a little Magic context?
Yeah.
Graham, if we can have Vein Drinker, because we talked about the fight ability or not the not fight ability, but whenever a creature dealt damage by Vein Drinker this turn dies, put a 1/1 counter on it.
Classic.
Can I see a Sengir Vampire, please?
An OG Sengir, please, like revised.
Because that line of text goes all the way back to 1993 for the original. Back when it didn't even say Sengir Vampire, it says Vampire gets a +1/+1 counter each time a creature dies during a turn in which Vampire damaged it, unless the dead creature is regenerated.
That hurt to read. What? Yeah. Who is That's Vampire?
That's Vampire.
That's Vampire.
Okay.
Sengir Vampire.
The titular
we
Vampire.
All know. We knew back then. We can figure it out. But yeah, like this dude is a 4/4 flyer, and it's funny because there was art done at the time that everybody, like for whatever reason, the artist thought the Sengir Vampire was just the head. So it's this little head with tiny little bat wings floating around like a bust, and it looked super weird. But this guy, Sengir Vampire, created the template that shows up on a lot of vampires throughout Magic history, where it's like, when I kill you, I get bigger because I'm draining your blood and becoming stronger. Later on, they were just like, if I do damage, then I'll get bigger. That's what they did in the Ravnik, the Innistrad vampires.
Yeah, if they hit the opponent.
Yeah, if they hit the opponent, it just get bigger. Which was the old Skirk ability?
Slith.
The Slith ability.
Yep.
But Sengir Vampire, man, good times.
Rakish Air. Oh, yeah.
Hit us, buddy.
Wait, hold on. You got to slide back in the saddle. I get to host these like 4 times a year.
Fine.
And besides, it's a Benny Wheels.
This is your show.
It's Benny Wheels in the hallowed halls of Loading Ready Run. We are going to take it slow. Hey, Graham, do you mind throwing something else up on the screen? Ooh, Primordial Mist.
The treasure chest version? Come on, give me a real card.
4 and a blue for an enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, you may manifest the top card of your library. For those that aren't familiar, it's like Manifest Dread, but worse. You just take the top card, put it face down. It's now a 2/2. You can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature. And exile a face down permanent you control face up. You may play that card this turn. Still pay the cost. Timing rules still apply. From Commander 2018. This card whips ass. It freaking rules, dude. Like it is. Ooh, it's good. It is so good. Not just because you get a bunch of manifest cards, but because, it's kind of like a future sight style card. Like you just get to draw extra cards, or you build the board.
So do you understand why this card is sick?
I think you're just putting cards on the battlefield and you can choose which one you flip up. Yeah. Seems broken.
The trick here is that normally when you manifest a spell, if it's a creature, you can flip it over, or if it's got some kind of unmorphing cost, right? Mm-hmm. This one, because it lets you exile a face-down permanent you control and then play that card, that means if it's a land or a spell or an artifact or a planeswalker, something that doesn't have an unmorph ability, this, because that was one of the downsides of manifest, is that you'd be manifesting things off the top, and maybe you got a land or you got like an instant or something, and they're just sitting there as 2/2s you can't do anything with.
Yeah.
Here, you can exile a face-down permanent you control this turn, flip it over, and then cast it so that you don't lose any of those spells that you manifested.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah, so you get to draw extra cards, and you get to manifest all these things, and then you can actually still get the value out of them. Yeah. It's great in that specific instance.
Graham.
Well, just before we move on.
Okay.
Because Shivam was like, the treasure chest version. Just because I'm enjoying the general tone of this, do you want to explain what the hell a treasure chest is?
Yeah, actually, because what does that mean?
So the Magic are you familiar? You've got to be familiar with Arena.
Yeah, a little bit.
And are you familiar with Magic Online?
Yes.
Okay. So Magic Online gets all the main release cards, but there are a lot of commander cards that are crap or not popular or just a pain to program. And so they don't necessarily want to dedicate time and money to getting them onto the client. Okay. That's not the case for every card, though. And so sometimes if you're doing that and not releasing the entirety of a product, they would be added to treasure chests, basically the prizes for participating in events.
Yeah, like when you play in events and stuff, you win tickets and treasure chests, which are basically you can unlock and you get X amount of cards out of it.
And you can get these especially in there, as well as there are some cards that have brand new art only for Magic Online promos. Some cards that maybe the artist was a real POS or a whoopsie-doopsie, and they're like, hey, we don't want this here, so let's commission new art and put it online, and it's in the treasure chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is also just a way for them to sneak in cards that they think that the environment needs more of. Like older cards that are like hard to reprint. They're like, we're just going to put it in the chest so you can crack it open and get it out of your prize packs.
Okay, that's cool. I love that.
Grab 'em. River Kelpie.
Blue heavy.
3 blue for a 3/3 beast from Shadowmoor. Whenever River Kelpie or another permanent is put into play from a graveyard, draw a card. Whenever a spell is played from a graveyard, draw a card. And it has persist. So when it dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, you return it to play with a -1/-1 counter on it.
Yeah.
This card rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I like it. I don't love the artwork.
Well, I mean, Shadowmoor artwork is a little wibbly wobbly, but the idea of this card of being able to, it incentivizes you to play cards that reanimate or to be able to find ways to bring things back. Obviously, the persist or undying, and it's just really, really flavorful. Like it gives you bonuses for flashback. If you flashback a spell, you get to draw a card, or if you unearth a spell, you get to draw a card, or if you have what is that artifact that lets you give all your creatures persist? The kettle or barrel or
Cauldron of Souls.
Cauldron of Souls. Yeah. So like this is just because persist was a mechanic in the Shadowmoor block, and so this would let you get a lot of value out of your cards that are going to the yard.
Yeah. Undying
like
was what I was thinking of when I read that. I was like, wait, that sounds familiar.
It seems like really good in a zombies deck or something.
Yeah, that screams Dimir zombies to me.
Kelly, what's the ugliest Magic card you can think of right now?
Murkfiend Liege.
Same kind of era.
That wasn't even a hesitation.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you
Not
popped
even
that off immediately.
I think,
Poor guy. He's just
That thing is
living his
ugly.
best life, man. He's just chilling. Also, this card rules.
I took it out of my deck because of the art alone.
There have been a lot of cards that I've just
That
been
was
like,
my
you know what?
follow-up question.
It's out of coma, not in there because of the artwork.
Oh God, in coma, this would have been gross.
I know. I just couldn't stand it. Wizards, reprint this, please.
Do you find that you don't like artwork that depicts what is effectively a large baby of some sort, like a large mutant baby?
I think I'm
Jabba's the
coming
Hutt
to that
doll.
realization.
Like a large
live.
baby mixed with a tadpole. That's
Yeah.
kind of the
large.
through line.
Can we think of any other large baby tadpole cards? I'll let you know. But
Ooh,
that's,
well, there's Child of Alara might be a little too on the
That's
nose.
too baby.
Yeah.
There's not enough tadpole in there.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other, because that's just a big angry screaming
it's
baby.
an angry baby.
no, the screaming baby is angry.
Have you seen the original artwork for the card Anger?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Graham.
No anger. Yeah.
This could have just been the show. As we come
Yeah.
with a list of wild artwork, we're like, hey, Callie, check this out.
Yeah, this is literally
Oh, that is awful. That's terrible.
the reason John Avon does land
Yeah, it's made so much better by the fact that it's like
anger.
the one of the like quintessential magic artists of all time.
Look,
I hate it. I do not like that at all.
Also,
not everybody.
also, did you, Graham? This is what is that set symbol? Is that?
That is another Magic Online.
Yeah,
symbol.
that's the
Sorry,
Magic
that's
Precon
Magic
set symbol.
Online theme deck.
That's what it is. Yeah, because wait, which deck had this?
Was it one of those two early commander decks?
I mean, maybe it was the Zira Aaron Commander deck.
Yeah,
but
I don't know,
the
but-
art, the text looks too good.
Yeah, but this is originally from Judgment.
Yeah,
But this card rules. It's very, very good in Commander, and they reprint it with better art because Screaming Baby.
what do you mean?
Yeah,
better
that
art?
one's pretty
You don't
rough.
like this art?
Hell no, dude! Come on, we had this debate. Also, really, this is exactly what Shivam and Wheeler episodes are like.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
That's
it must have been the Zira Aaron deck because the other legendary is Rubinia Soul Singers.
yes.
Yeah.
The symbol of her church.
I bet this is someone's favorite card though.
Oh, it's a lot of
Oh.
people's favorite card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
This thing is
everyone's.
it's a mimetic. It's a meme card.
What's your ugliest card, Wheeler?
Yeah.
Oh God. I really do not like Siphon Flesh. Siphon Flesh from the original Commander product. It's
Oh,
very there I have this weird
Oh,
Yeah, my
that's
bad.
the same genre.
Yeah, it's similar, yeah.
Baby weird tadpole. Bob.
My thing is that I look at it doesn't weird me out
Also, the card
or
is
anything.
awesome, though.
But anytime I see stuff like this, I cannot fight the call of the void to I just want to take like a really sharp needle and like pop it, you know? I just want to and like for some of them, it could just be like a blows up. But this one feels like it's going to do like a Tom and Jerry kind of it's going to deflate and fly through the air. And then it's just going to be a sack of skin on the ground. Thanks for asking, Graham.
you know what this one makes me think of?
That's bad.
This card directly reminds me of one that was stuck in my head from my youth. You can probably imagine which
Fleshy
one.
B.
No,
From what set?
From way back.
Oh, the Daryler?
Nah,
Oh.
Bloodlust.
Oh, Bloodlust. Oh,
Where
yeah.
she's like falling madly in love with the inside of someone's kidneys.
Oh, is that what that is?
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
So Anson Maddox took the brief literally and was like, "All right, someone who's lusting after gore. Great, got it."
Classic Anson Maddox.
The card was
Dope
awesome.
guy,
I played
dope
a lot
guy.
of this one.
Grim? Please. Oh, God.
The mystery boosty we're on.
Ash Barrens, a land that was originally printed in, I believe, Commander 2016. Taps out a colorless and has basic land cycling for a single
Card is
generic.
sick.
Really popular in Pauper. Pretty good in Commander. I hate looking at a white board. So white borders.
I love white border cards.
I'm on the white border train as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Shivam, I get. You know,
Well, I'm old. I came
time
from
comes
that
for
era.
all of us, but
I
yeah.
just think they're pretty. Like the white border Kenrith, the white border Uro, the white border Sarah.
You are making a lot of people sad right now, but I am with you.
I think they look great. I love the white border. Especially in a lot
I
of
feel
sleeves have,
vindicated right now.
like the white back. So when you put the white border, I just think it looks good. Like that's incredible. That looks so good.
that actually doesn't look that bad.
I like the white Minsky Boo.
I
Yeah.
don't hate white borders, although I think I understand why some of them get a bad rap. I think 8th edition, 9th edition, and Unlimited those are the best white borders.
Yes,
they're like
100%.
very clean, very almost. It's weird to say because they're
7th
white
edition
borders,
too is also good.
but they're like they pop,
Yeah.
right? I think the new card frame with white border is great, and then Unlimited is just you have this like artwork that is as rich as it was in alpha or beta, and this white border that is just like I don't know how to. It's
I love it. I
thick.
think it just looks
It's like damn, it's right there. You
Yeah.
know?
But yeah,
I like
this
it.
card though, I love the artwork on this one a lot. I just love that value vibe.
I bet it stinks. Like looking at
Oh,
that,
you
I'm
think
just
it probably
like,
smells
man, that
fetid?
probably smells bad.
Yeah, I mean it
Yeah.
does. But like no, this card is very cool and it's a neat design. I love basic land cycling a lot, and I think but it's effectively just it's an evolving wild you have to pay for.
It's
But it also
yeah.
taps for colorless, so that's a thing.
Yeah. Hey, Graham. Ooh, Monstrous Hound.
All right.
3 in a red for a 4/4 summon. I assume it's now dog, but it's a hound.
Dog.
Dog. Rare from Exodus. Monstrous Hound cannot attack unless you control more lands than defending player. Monstrous Hound cannot block unless you control more lands than attacking player. Stay.
Stay.
AKA, hey buddy, play some Stone Rains.
Also, there's no way this artist's name is Dermot Power. That's too good of a name. Dermot Power? That
feels
That's
like
the-
he should be writing like westerns.
That's the kind of thing that is like on the side of a vacuum that is somehow going to convince me to buy it. It's like, I don't know if I want, oh, well, here's Dermot Power.
or he's like, writes noir novels or something
Uh-huh.
like, The Spy Who Shanked Me by Dermot Power. Yeah, I
Maybe
could totally see
it's an Una Fricker pseudonym.
It's a Cooligan Wolf though.
Dermot Power has been doing Magic illustrations since like 97
It is still
Give me
doing
some
it?
others.
and is still doing it.
What?
Some famous Dermot Power art that I know you will recognize. Douthie Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a sick card.
The original Gravedigger.
Oh. Actually, hold on. Sorry. That's
Sorry.
not the original Grave
No, the
Digger.
original is from
I think
Portal.
you'll find the original ones from Portalgram.
Yeah, you're right. And it looks awful.
I use
Wow, that's a Scott M. Fisher you're talking about. You're goddamn right it looks awful.
The sunflowers are cute.
Dermot Power has also done Rewind,
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's sick.
Ruination, Umbilicus.
Oh,
I love
classic.
that artwork.
And then more recently, as Dominaria Remastered, we've got this new art for Time Stretch.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sweet.
that's nice.
Dom Remastered brought back a lot of classic artists to do cool
Yeah.
renditions of old
Lots of
cards.
time, like,
Got a,
oh, they did. I like that Spell Pierce.
yeah,
Yeah.
Spell Pierce. There's a Return to Dust, Anger of the Gods, and actually this very sick
That's a lot.
Chainer's Edict.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah. Oh man, Dermot Power also did Cadaverous Knight.
This one rules.
Okay, this card
cool.
Yeah.
actually rules. I love Mirage. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful set.
This,
But yeah, what the hell was the original card?
we were talking about Monstrous Hound.
Oh yeah, Stone Rain.
Back,
Play Stone Rains.
this was a pre-release foil. Or pre-release card, I guess. Terrible Magic card. Just
He's bad.
It's not delightful. No.
So, back in the day, getting a 4-mana 4/4 for 4 was just not a thing you could get outside of like green.
Yeah, so it
Without
always
a
came
drawback.
It always came with some weird drawbacks. And in this one, the drawback is doubly worse because it encourages you to play land destruction, which is basically just like, all right, well, if I need to make this thing work, then I need to stop you from playing. At which point, like, you're already winning.
One of my favorite cards to call out for just like being terrible from this era is because there's a card in Aether Drift. It's 1 green for a 5/4 dinosaur that says other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. So big upside, relevant, creature type, I guess, if you're playing with them, good in multiples, whatever. And then there's a card called Megatherium. Yes, Regal Imperiosaur, also great art. And then there's a card called Megatherium that is a green creature that also costs 3. Megatherium, well, technically it costs 3. 2 and a green for a 4/4 trample. When Megatherium comes into play, sacrifice it unless you pay 1 for each card in your hand.
For a 4/4.
That's Ugh.
So this does have some upside in that, like, if you're hellbent,
your
you
hand.
can pay 3 mana for a 4/4 trampler, which technically that's a good
It's a
thing.
card. It's a body.
Technically its mana cost is easier to cast, but boy, oh boy, were creatures ever
Awful.
terrible.
That's
Just
awful.
terrible.
We struggled a lot in the old days. It's a wonder sometimes that Magic survived, given how bad creatures used to be. But that's like, Graham, show her a sea serpent. Since she was telling us she liked serpents back in the day, let me show you what we had as serpents when I started playing. Like, if you pull up a revised one, that would be best because it's the one that's the most garbage. And this is a card I loved. So 5 in a blue for a 5/5 sea serpent, but it cannot attack unless opponent has islands in play, and it's buried immediately anytime you don't have islands in play. So it has, later on they would call it island home, which is say you have to have islands and they have to have islands. And I would use things like phantasmal terrain to turn their lands into islands so I could attack with this. But phantasmal terrain also had, like, upkeep costs and everything. But this is, think about it, a 6 mana 5/5 that sits there if you're playing against a red player and does nothing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then if they strip mine your one island, this guy goes down with the ship.
What's berry, Shivam?
Bury means that it dies but cannot be regenerated. It goes away forever.
How do you bury a sea serpent? It just kind of, I mean, it gets,
bury him at sea?
yeah, it just dies.
It just dies and then
sinks to the-
drowns to the bottom of the ocean.
I guess it floats and then it sinks.
I mean, legend has it the serpents used to be bigger, but how could that be, Wheeler? How could that be?
there's nothing bigger than a 5/5, except for, actually,
6/6.
Literally.
yeah, this is going to turn into old men shout at young women about blue bombs from 1995. Can we get a polar kraken up on the
You gotta
screen?
change the name.
It's a new weekly show.
Yeah, but it's like tap, tap, and concede.
Or I'll take Island Fish
sure.
Jasconius.
Island
Hell
Fish
yeah.
Jasconius.
So this thing is actually big, but
Dope.
Polar Kraken, 3 blue, blue, blue.
8
for-
blue, blue, blue.
Or sorry, yes, 8 blue, blue, blue. So 11 mana for an 11/11 trample with cumulative upkeep, sacrifice a land, and then it comes into play tapped.
Cumulative upkeep. So you sack 1 land this turn.
And then you
Then you
say,
sack 2 lands. Then you sack 3 lands. And you better have won by that time or you're going to be in real trouble.
and y'all liked playing Magic.
Buddy, show a Leviathan, please. Let me show you the crap that I had to play when I was a kid.
Yeah, I wasn't doing this when I was younger.
Yeah,
I
dude.
now understand power creep to a whole different level.
So, dude, a Leviathan, a 10/10 for 5 blue, 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 blue. So 5 and 4 blue, trample. Comes to play tapped and doesn't untap, first off. To untap it, at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to sack 2 islands, and then you get to untap it, and you cannot attack unless you sack another 2 islands.
Lots of land destruction on
Yeah.
Your own land
your
destruction.
own lands. Yeah. What?
Yeah, this is my boy. I used this back in the day.
They really didn't want you to play Magic again.
They were like, look,
Yeah,
man, you could
they
win
didn't.
too easily, but by God, if you've ever berserked a Leviathan, you feel like you're alive. Like you don't know.
Island Fish Jasconius, 4 blue, blue, blue for a 6/8 question
Summon
mark.
island fish.
It's a summon island fish. You must pay blue, blue, blue during your untap phase to untap island fish. Island fish cannot attack unless opponent has islands in play. Island fish is destroyed immediately if at any time you have no
Any
islands in
time.
play.
Anytime.
There's that land destruction.
How dare you? They blink that island, that guy's gone before he comes back.
Oh yeah.
There's
close.
an Aether Drift, and there's another dinosaur. It's what's the name? I have an even better one. What's the name of the legendary vanilla one? It was one of our preview cards. It's like yes, thank you, Terrian World Tyrant. So 2 green for a 9/7 legendary creature dinosaur ooze. So
That's it.
5 mana, 9/7, wild set of stats.
That's a good comparison. That's crazy.
To pull my Leviathan, can I get Crosan Colossus, please and thank you? So
This
Crosan
really is
Colossus
just, like, show and tell.
is Crosan Colossus is God, what are you, 9 mana? I think it's 9 mana for a 9/9. Yes. 6 green for a 9/9 that has morph for 6 green. So you can either pay 9 mana for a 9/9 vanilla creature, or you could pay 3 mana expose it to any kind of cheap removal,
Any
and then at a
lightning
later date pay 8, so 11 mana total for a 9/9 vanilla creature.
You could also exile it to that Primordial Mist and then pay the full boat.
Yep, if you want.
Oh, we came full circle.
Yeah, I mean, I cracked this in a Legions pack recently. Or no, not Legions, Odyssey. Onslaught pack. And I was just like, I tried very hard to find a way to do something with this, but it stretches even my desire to play garbage cards. Like, this is a lot.
I play this in my vanilla commander.
Yeah, of course
deck.
you do.
Yeah, it's great.
Why wouldn't you?
Like, it's a 9 mana 9/9.
It's a 9 mana 9/9. It'll win the game when it hits eventually.
Hey Graham, do you want to hit random 3 more times? 2 more, 3. Do you mind hitting random?
Oh god.
Parasailing. 2 and a white for a sorcery. Destroy all enchantments. You gain 1 life for each enchantment destroyed this way.
Poor Tranquility with Power Corrupt.
Sure.
And also, as a person who plays a lot of Enchantress decks, I hate this card.
They don't make cards like this anymore. Like it's just very cheap and hateful.
Yes.
Like it's just like 3 mana. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they
you
do.
were-
It's called Pyroclasm.
Yeah, but you deserve it. Like, creatures are everywhere. If you are playing like an enchantment deck with your enchantments, it is wild that they're like, hey, look, people are going to play enchantment decks. Here's a 3 mana spell. Why don't you ruin everything they've worked for?
Yeah, like Tranquility, Shatterstorm is just like, hey, you're playing a deck that's a type of card? No.
I have a question for you, Callie.
Yeah.
What are some cards similar to like Parasailing, like Sorcery's Instance, whatever, that you have now developed a personal grudge towards?
Oh, well, I guess I mentioned this one earlier. I'm not a Cyclonic Rift girly. You'll never see me playing it.
Okay.
I just think it's too good for casual, I guess, is my take. Get that out of here. We don't need it. I'm going to bring up Ristic Study.
Okay.
Out of pure,
Breach.
Yeah, just out of pure, like, don't ask me. I'm not, like my friend, don't ask me. I'm not going to pay it.
Yep. Draw your damn card.
Yeah, they just draw it. Those are the ones that come to my mind that I hate.
Have you,
Farewell.
do you have any like...
Farewell.
Yeah, Farewell's a good one. Farewell's a good one.
Crap ass card.
Horrible card.
Yeah. My personal hatred is Bane of Progress. Appropriately.
I love Bane of Progress.
Yet you hate Farewell.
Yeah, but Bane of Progress isn't exile.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
It just gets big.
6 mana 2/2 when it ETBs, destroy all artifacts and enchantments, and
And get big, and then I win, and the game's over. The other ones don't end the game; they just end my game.
Buddy, this is barely a Crowsand Colossus. I don't like this thing's not ending the game.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
I like that card.
I think it's a cool card, but like, I could see why people hate it. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a real jerk move. Grab. Ooh, memory plunder.
The Crimothy special, baby.
4 mana, hybrid Dimir, hybrid Dimir, hybrid Dimir, hybrid Dimir for an instant. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost.
This card rules.
Wait, I like that.
Oh yeah, this card's awesome.
Ooh.
This card's what we call a TTBB, a top to bottom banger. It's just
BB, top
yeah,
to bottom banger.
TTBB.
Yeah,
It's 4 mana, big old yoink.
dude, this card is
feels
so cool in Commander. It is unbelievably fun to go and like, because people play big, gigantic spells all the time. So being able to yank one of their spells out of the yard and cast it against them, especially after you've been milling them in Dimir, or forcing them to discard with your black cards, or countering their spells, and then yoink it and then play it against them. Oh my god, this card tells stories.
Yeah.
This card tells amazing stories. This is the kind of delightful stuff that I just love. This is. Even for like, it's a hateful card. It takes someone's thing and wrecks them with it. But this is what Commander design should be.
The flavor text is vengeance is the echo of the victim's own crime.
That's
By
nice.
somebody named Grench, Marrow Cutthroat. And I can't help but think
Wait, what
that
does that
their
mean?
name is the sound that would make if they got stepped on by a giant.
Grinch.
Grench.
Yeah, they got Grinched on.
Yeah, but what the hell does that mean? Vengeance is the echo
Me-
of the victim's
wait.
own. That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, I
don't
got a
wanna think
very
about it
topical
anymore.
joke. Because Callie said they got Grenched on. Me stealing all the presents from the children of Whoville.
No, that's Grinched on.
Oh, his name's Grinch. I've been calling him Grinch the entire time.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grant.
Graham, one more grink, if you would. And to close out the show,
best way.
we've got Savage Beating.
This was my preview card for that set.
3 red for an instant, originally printed in dark steel. Cast a spell only during your turn and only during combat. You choose one. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn, or untap all creatures you control after this phase. There's an additional combat phase with Entwine for 1 and a red. Entwine being, why not both? You just get to do both.
Okay.
This card is awesome. It is a classic commander finisher for red. It rules. It just like both halves of it are great by themselves. Give everything double strike and wreck them, or win. And like this is one of my this and other like extra turns games are just such a delightful way to win the game in red. I don't know. I love this card. I think it's a genius card.
Extra turns? No. Extra combats? Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Just beat them to death, man. Let's go.
Just kill me, dude.
It reminds me of Graham. Do you remember what the extra turn, the extra combats card in Aether Drift was? Final Fortune?
No.
It was my preview. I forget what it was called. It was red and it's got Sita and Chandra punching.
Something. Is it takedown? Something.
Is a pithy
tandem takedown?
No.
Tandem tactics. Team fight tactics.
Team fight tactics.
Tambourine slamborine. Chandra and her friend beat up Loot.
No, Loot is sitting in
Chandra's slam. Bam Graham family.
I'm frantically searching.
The big punch.
What color?
Red.
Knock slobberly, would you?
Is it Last Chance?
Yeah, maybe.
No, Last Chance is a.
It's literally the art is Chandra and Sita.
And they're going for the big punch, and the card's called Big Punch, and the card's called Take One of These in the Morning, and then the card is called Girls Getting It Done, and then the card is called Fist Slam Jam Thank You Ma'am, and then the card is actually called Jesus, that's a snatched waist on this mummy, and then the card's actually called How About You Take Two of These in the Morning, and the card is called Full Throttle, of course.
What?
Full Throttle being
That's what it was.
4 red for sorcery. After this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attack this turn.
Yes.
Of course.
Because what's better than 1 extra combat? 2 extra combats. Love this card. Loot's living his best life. It slams and calls it a day.
I wish Loot looked like this everywhere.
I mean,
I've heard that.
Look at it, man.
Yeah.
Instead of a
Homie just like
Pokemon.
having a joyful time.
If he was just like, I'm the stupid baby that doesn't understand the severity of the situation, but because I'm with my moms and I'm going fast, I'm having a good time.
Right.
Like if he was just the baby from like The Incredibles or whatever.
Instead
like,
of the baby from Dinosaurs.
Well, not the mama. We don't have time to explain dinosaurs.
Oh my God, you were young. Never mind. Some of you guys out there understood.
There was this sitcom with people in giant dinosaur suits, and it was the whole thing was that it was a sitcom, but it was Roseanne, but dinosaurs.
It was funny and really, really good. Anyways.
and then the finale is the meteorite hitting and everybody you know and love dying. It's very.
Oh my God, dude.
Wait. Is this?
I think I've seen that
A
somewhere.
card shape?
Is this on Scryfall? Is this the Universes Beyond set that hasn't been announced?
Oh my God, I would die if we got a
Surprised.
dinosaurs. Like seriously, this show actually was funny as hell, really well written, and very apropos. But with that,
Okay, well now you're just showing dinosaurs. You've gone off the rails, dude.
I think if Graham has lost his thread, we should probably.
Oh, I'll close the show out. I'm trying to catch a glimpse of Graham from here.
I just found out there's one other card that references Grinch.
Oh,
What?
please do. Please show me. Oh, wait. What kind of card is it?
It is a creature.
Is it a hybrid blue-black creature?
Oh, you're so close. It is a hybrid blue-white creature.
The Grinch.
Pure Sight Marrow?
Nope. But it's from the it's It's from Shadowmoor.
Thistledown Liege?
No.
The Duo.
No.
You're trolling me, dude.
No.
The One Drop?
Nope.
Okay, just to show it.
Just show us.
Is it the fairies? Is it the Aura fairies?
No, it's Plumevale.
Are you for real?
That was literally the only. I think that's the only card.
Only one that you missed.
Plumevale. What's this guy have to say about Plumevale?
It was a great sheet of soaring wings and equally silent. It caught us unawares and blocked our view of the Kithkin stronghold.
Would you believe that this wall was like a standard staple? Like people just played walls
Yeah, I believe
to
it.
block? Yeah. Magic.
Or four flying defenders, nothing to joke at. But Flash is actually what makes it.
Yeah, the flash seems
the,
really good.
the gotcha. And I've got you, chat, to thank for tuning in and watching this episode of Tap Tap Concede Scryfall Roulette, featuring our special guests for the Aetherdrift PPR, Shivam, and Callie, MagicNewGirl. I've got Graham to thank for being on tech today.
Hello.
And I got you to thank not just for watching, but also for supporting the channel over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. It's because of all of you that we're able to do all of this. And all of this is also, by this, I mean the show is brought to you by Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/LRR, using that link when you make your order in the description saying button please, and while supplies last, you get a small button. And then as far as I know, the last one said serving commander, as well as Dragon Shields. You make an order from Dragon Shields. If you use the code LRRMTG5, you get 5% off your order. And you should, because they're Dragon Shields and you got to sleeve your decks. Like, what are you doing here? You use your Dragon Shields. Come on. Think about it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.